Welcome to another segment of Live from Forum 2022, brought to you by the National Association of Workforce Boards. From Washington, D.C., I'm your host, Ron Painter. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I also want to thank Mala Parker, who is the Vice President of the International Foodservice Distribution Association. Mala, it's great to see you, and I thank you for taking time out to join us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, Ron.
Who would be a member of IFDA?
IFDA.
IFDA, all right, I got that
IFDA.
right. Who would be a member?
So we are our members are the more than $300 billion industry that has 15,000 distribution centers and employs 350,000 people. And what they do is they source, warehouse, sell and deliver food products to any professional kitchen throughout the United States. And that would be like more than 1 million a day. So we're talking restaurants, hospitals, hotels, U.S. installations like government installations, military installations. So we're everywhere, K through 12 schools too. And so we provide food service products to those professional kitchens.
Are your members the folks like when I'm driving home to Pittsburgh and I'm headed out the Pennsylvania Turnpike and I've got truck after truck? Is that, because I'll see.
They may be, yeah.
I'll see Cisco, I'll see some of those guys, US.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see some, they'll be backing up into restaurants or other professional kitchens, and you'll know that they're the ones who are providing whatever's going to be on the menu that day.
Oh my gosh, because even the camera adding weight, there's still a few extra pounds here. I like the people who are delivering to the table.
Yeah, they're critical right now.
So you're more the delivery. You're
We are.
not, I guess I refer to it as long haul. Your members aren't going to be on the road for days.
That's correct. Our members actually usually go about 200 miles a day on average.
Okay.
And so they'll have stops between anywhere from 6 to 11, let's say, and they'll go to their customers and they'll deliver those food products. So they're not on the road for weeks at a time. They're actually on the road for a day, and they get to come home every night. Some work on weekends, but actually nowadays it's less so on weekends, and sometimes they do night drops and things like that, but they're at home at the end of the day.
So I'm guessing one of the skills that if I'm your member, I'm looking for is that recognition of customer service.
Absolutely.
Because they are, I guess they would be, right? They would be the face of your member.
They are, and they really enjoy that customer interaction. Our companies actually really value their food service distributors because they're the ones who, when they go to the customer, they're the face that's seen, they're the ones who are doing the deliveries, and that's the relationship that really matters. So, we're always looking for delivery drivers who have that kind of personality and enthusiasm and are ready to be on the ground running.
You have a great graphic of what the supply chain looks like.
Sure.
And sort of where you fit in there. Can we get a
Absolutely.
shot of that?
So this is the food service supply chain, from the supplier all the way to the customer. And so all along the way, you'll see the different areas that matter in a supply chain and where it could so easily be disrupted, or things might be slowed down rather than being seamless and efficient. And some of that really has to do with labor shortages. You'll see truck driver shortages, labor shortages in warehouse workers, and other things that slow that process down.
I was going to ask, because we're hearing from employers all the time about the scramble to try and find employees.
Mm-hmm.
So you said like 350,000
Correct.
employees. What's it look like in terms of the job openings and the issues you're having?
So we have in food service distribution about 131,000 truck drivers, of which there are 15,000 openings. And this is over the last year. We did a survey. And then we have 121,000 warehouse workers, of which about 17,500 openings are there. So, we're constantly looking to get people back into our industry. They're coming back from the pandemic, but I think truck driving and truck drivers are critical, and that's an ongoing need. We estimate, and so does the American Trucking Associations, that it's about 80,000 truck drivers per year are needed in order just to keep up with the demand.
Wow.
So we are definitely in need of truck drivers.
And you all are participating in some efforts around the pipeline. How do we make sure people understand our industry? Like
Sure.
young people understand our industry. Talk a little bit about what you all are doing in that regard.
Yeah, you bet. So some of our members are working with an organization called the Next Generation in Trucking. And what they do is they develop curriculum and work with high schools to help educate high school seniors on trucking. And they help them to get their commercial driver's license so that they can graduate from high school and go into some sort of trucking field. So while they might not be able to drive immediately, they'll have the wherewithal and the knowledge and the experience to start getting into that. What we want to do is create this pipeline and connect the dots. So there's also a pilot program at the Department of Transportation that's going to be up and running soon that'll allow up to about 3,000 apprentices to get their commercial driver's license to be able to drive in industry between the ages of 18 and 20. And then of course from 21 on, there's the ability for drivers in the truck driving industry to drive interstate.
There's a lot of conversation around 18 to 21-year-olds driving. I was surprised when you and I were chatting before, like they're actually driving now.
They are. They're able to get their commercial driver's license in 49 states. So they are able to do so right now, and they can drive in shorter distances intrastate. But actually, you know, if you're talking about Texas, if you could drive intrastate, that's a pretty long distance.
That's a long day, yeah.
It's just not being able to go interstate into another state. So our hope is that we can show and demonstrate through that rigorous training and safety requirements and technology that those who are between the ages of 18 and 20 are just as safe, if not safer, than those who are 21 and older.
Well, it's got to be a constant education process, because you run into people like me that, like a truck's a truck,
Sure.
a truck. Yeah, no, right.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, trucking is so different. It's so diverse. All those jobs can be very diverse. In the food service distribution industry, for example, you know, like I said, people come home at the end of the day. Compensation is actually, pay and compensation are really good. We did a survey, and the average salary for a truck driver in the food service distribution industry is $79,000.
Well,
And
say
so
that again.
$79,000. And so, you know, we think it's a great opportunity to not only be able to come home at night, family friendly, also to be able to have that customer FaceTime.
Oh, yeah,
So it's, you know, they're not necessarily on the road weeks at a time, but they actually get to interact with other people. And those who enjoy that would be great food service distribution deliverers.
You mentioned technology.
Sure.
I'm guessing it's now making its way all through your industry. Talk about some of those major technology points.
Yeah, so there's automation, for example, in warehouses.
In warehousing.
To make it easier, you know, in terms of lifting and things like that. Automation in transportation will probably be a little bit down the road, but you know, we're looking forward to that opportunity as well, because there's always going to be a need for somebody to be in the truck. You know, it's going to be decades from now before there's nobody in a vehicle and there's completely self-driving. So we're always going to be looking for people to fill these positions. We just have to look down the road and see what does that look like and train people up for those types of jobs.
So there's all kinds of technology in that cab of a truck now, right?
Yeah, it's like a cockpit. You know, you've got driver assistance systems, advanced driver assistance systems, and so it really helps the driver to navigate in a way that they were unable to do perhaps 20 or so years ago.
So if I'm in workforce development, one of the things I'm concerned about with is, yeah, there may be job openings, but the turnover is just so brutal. That's not true, right?
You know, it may be in some areas of trucking, but certainly in distribution, we see that as a much, much lower rate. It's usually under 20%, and so people seem to be more satisfied in these positions. It could be, again, because of the compensation. It could be that they're paid by the hour. It's a number of different factors, I think. Again, they're family friendly, so you know, we think that we have an appealing industry, and we just want to tap into those resources and those people.
And it's really right in front of us. You mentioned like it's delivering to our local restaurant.
Yeah.
It's delivering, like we see it and we don't see it.
Sure, it gives people this opportunity to contribute to their communities. we call a lot of the employees associates, and some of our members see their workers as family members, and that's just because they're part of the community. They're delivering to their communities, and they feel that investment, I think. So yeah, it's a great career.
Awesome. Mal, if I want to learn more information about IFDA, or I want to learn more about the companies that you represent, how do I do that?
So you can start at IFDA Online, ifdaonline.org. We have a lot of information on our webpage. And then, of course, we've got a lot of larger companies, but we have smaller, medium-sized companies that are just as amazing. And so we're always trying to get people to look for those opportunities. And I'm a great resource too. So if folks want to reach out to me, they're welcome to do that as well.
So if I go to ifdaonline.org,
yeah.
I can find information about your industry, but I also can I make my way to some of your members?
You can. We have sort of job opportunities. We're still building out our job board.
Okay.
So there could be opportunities there down the road.
But I know who they are, so I can go look for them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
You can.
All right. Mala Parker, thanks for joining me.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
you taking time.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And I want to thank you. You've been tuned in to Live from Forum 2022, powered by the National Association of Workforce Boards. From Washington, D.C., I've been your host, Ron Painter. Again, Mala Parker, International Foodservice Distribution Association.
Thank you.
And it's great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you catch more of us with Live from Forum 2022.